Check this out. I know you've heard the translate your website spiel. You may even be on the bandwagon. And if you're not, check out these statistics and get with the program. In the single second it took you to click on this video, roughly 158,000 searches happened on Google. That adds up to over 5 trillion searches per year. Google doesn't disclose how many of those searches are non-English, but guess what? People who speak other languages also want to know how to boil an egg. We're all humans and we all search basically the same stuff. It's just that the majority of us don't speak English. Right now, 54% of the content on the internet is written in English, and 25.9% of internet users speak English. But only about 19% of the global population speaks English. That means potentially 74% of the people on the internet don't have enough content in their native language. Even if you take into account internet coverage and socioeconomic barriers, and you reduce that 74% to 50%, you still have potentially 50% of all internet users who are underserved in their language. That's a lot of people who you can reach simply by applying multilingual SEO best practices to your website. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to do just that. Let's get it. By now, I'm pretty sure you agree that we all should be translating our websites. But which languages should we translate to? Do you want to try the spaghetti against the wall method, where you translate to every single language on the planet, which costs time, resources, effort, stress trying to manage it all? Or do we take the smart way and we try to find data that tells us what to translate to? I choose route 2. And right now you're looking at Google Analytics for one of my websites, and we see here where the traffic's coming from. The majority is from the US, but we're getting a bunch from China, India, Germany, Singapore, Brazil, Netherlands, Pakistan. Those are all predominantly non-English speaking countries. So if I were to translate this website, my first targets would be China and India. And then if that went well and was showing results, then I might add in Germany and Singapore and go that route. But if you don't have analytics to fall back on, you can think about which countries your product or offering or news outlet or blog or whatever, which countries that would resonate most in, and which cultures would resonate most with your products and offerings. Translate to those languages. If you can't use Google Analytics and you can't figure out which languages to translate to based on who would like your product or offering, this is your next best bet. Pick languages based on what's most used online. And then once you've done that, once you've figured out which languages to translate to, I recommend starting with just one, just to get this process under your belt. You can try 2 at a time if you're feeling adventurous, but it's going to be tricky just to do one because we've only done the preliminary part. Now we have to do keyword research for all of our content. For example, we have this blog post over here. The keyword is how to boil an egg. AI did not do a good job on writing this title. How to boil an egg. If this is your keyword, this is one of the best SEO titles you can have. And then have some kind of scarcity thing in 2 minutes. And then learn how to boil an egg in 2 minutes. You get the idea. But the keyword is how to boil an egg. Each of your pages and posts, if you're doing proper SEO, should have a keyword. And this is it for this one. I've got RankMath installed. And in RankMath, I have how to boil an egg as the keyword. I have not gone through and optimized it for this keyword. I can link to a different tutorial that shows you how to optimize your content on page optimization based on a keyword. I'll link to that in the card up above and the description down below. But we're really focused on translating right now. So we know this is a search for search term in English. But is it searched for in the language we want to translate to? Let's take our number 2 example for this example website, China. So we want to find out if how to boil an egg is searched for in Chinese. How do we do that? First, we go to Google Translate, put in our keyword, translate it to, I chose simplified Chinese instead of traditional. I don't know if that was correct. I'm not Chinese, but this is what it gave us right here. So we copy that and we put that into a keyword tool like Mangools or Google Keyword Planner, and it will bring up search results related to that, just like it does in English. When you enter a keyword like how to boil an egg, it doesn't show you just one result, it shows you a whole bunch in every other language as well. So I entered the keyword, I chose China as the location, I chose Chinese simplified as the language, and we got these results. And this one down here actually has some search volume. Let's see if we can figure out what this actually means. To English, how to boil tea eggs. Slight variation. If we were to translate this post straight up from how to boil an egg in English to how to boil an egg in Chinese, might not be searched for. But now we've discovered How to boil tea eggs could be what we want to create for the Chinese version of this post. And we used a keyword tool to find that. This one also gets search volume. Let's see what this one translates to. How to boil eggs, plural. So we could keep our post as it is, just make it how to boil eggs in Chinese. So you want to go through and do that for every single one of your posts. Identify the keyword, translate the keyword, use a keyword tool like Mangles, Google Keyword Planner, whatever keyword tool you have access to, and use that translated keyword to find out if there's search volume for that keyword. And if you don't know the language you're translating to, this gets a little bit harder. If you do know the language, it's a little bit easier. But make a spreadsheet and do that for all of your posts. Once you have all the keywords translated to something really similar and you know they have search volume, then we can go to the next step, which is actually translating the content. We can use a tool like Translatepress to do this really easily. And Translatepress Pro has an add-on for SEO. Now this is the key for international SEO. It's not just about translating your content. You have to translate the things that are important for SEO. Those are, if you look at this preview up here, this is like a search engine preview. The important things to translate for SEO are the URL slug, this component right here, the title, and the meta description. Those things are key for translating with a focus on SEO. And beyond that, we also want to make sure we have a sitemap for every language that links to content of the correct language. We also want to make sure we set href lang tags for every page. Translatepress helps us with all of that to make it as easy as possible. And here's an example of what I'm talking about. So Microsoft on google.com has the English version. English title, English description, likely an English URL. And if we search for Microsoft in google.fr, which is France, we have title in French, description in French, probably the URL slug in French. And that's what we want for proper SEO. To do that, Translatepress is the easiest option. We have it installed on our website. Translatepress Multilingual, it's the base plugin, and then Translatepress Business is the pro version of it. And you just download them from their website and upload them to your site. Super simple. And then once we have those installed and activated, if we go to Translatepress under Settings, and then we go to Add-ons, we can activate the SEO pack. This allows us to translate the slug, page title, description, Facebook and Twitter social graph information, which I haven't even mentioned yet, and the hlang attribute. That's the href lang that I was talking about. And that translates it all into your target language. So let's turn that on. And now we can head over to automatic translation. I'm going to turn this on because with AI and AI credits through Translatepress, you can translate stuff really, really easily now. Let's click on Test API Credentials. Got a 200 message, everything's okay. And let's save changes at the bottom. And then on the General tab, we're going to choose the languages we want to have on our site. We've been using Chinese throughout this video as an example, so we're going to use that. Let's use Chinese, China, add, and it's added. Let's go down to the very bottom. Click on Save Changes. Before we do anything else, let's head out to the front of our website so we can see what we have going on. Here's the site in English. Sweet. Down on the bottom right, we've got a language switcher. We hover over that, we see Chinese appear. Let's click on Chinese. And our page is translated. That was super simple because all we did was choose Chinese from down here. Now if we go to a different page, the same thing will happen. As we go to it, it'll translate. It's going to take a little bit longer than normal, even though that was pretty quick, because it's translating for the first time. Once it's translated, this is going to be saved in your database. You never have to translate it again. You don't use AI credits again. It's pretty slick. If you don't want to use AI credits, which are subscription-based with Translatepress, you can also use DeepL and Google Translate as well. I've got a video on how to set that up. I'll link to that in the card up above if you want to check that out. I also have a video dedicated to the language switcher and all the options you have with that. It's pretty slick, all the stuff you can do. I'll link to that video as well in the card up above and the description down below. But let's focus in again on what we're doing here. We've now translated pages, but we got to translate URLs. For example, the word about, I'm pretty sure is not Chinese. So we translated the page, but we didn't translate that, which is the URL slug, which is important for SEO. So let's go to our post. The post looks a little different because I switched themes from the 2026 theme to the Astra theme. So the front end looks a little nicer. Let's publish this page so I can show you how to translate the important SEO stuff. In fact, let's also add an image. Let's put an image right here. Just put that mountain in there. Pretend they're boiling an egg on that mountain. Let's set the alt text for this image on the right hand side in the alternative text box. Boiling eggs on a mountainside. Perfect. Save that, because we also want to translate all the alt text for our images on all the pages. And now if we click on Translate Page, make sure we save. That pop-up pops up when you haven't saved your page recently, even though I did recently, so I don't know why it popped up. Anyway, I always save extra just in case. So here we can translate all the content on the page. Currently we're on the English page. We can switch to Chinese. It'll translate the whole thing in Chinese, and then we can click wherever we want and start translating. This image, for example, we could translate the alt text manually, but it did it for us because we're connected to the AI credits. You can also have a different image for Chinese or for any other language. You can add that here. If we switch back to English now, click on this down arrow, we can choose slugs. And this will allow us to change the slug, the URL for this post to whatever language we want, which is super important for SEO, as you found out earlier. We can change the meta information, the page title here for the meta information, translated. Boom. The description, you can see in brackets down below what this is. The description, which is the meta description, translated. And those are the big ones. The URL slug, the meta description, and the title. Those make up, if we go back to our editor, those make up these components that are going to show up in search engines. So it's super important that we make sure that we translate those with the proper keywords into the language appropriately, and that will drive the best SEO results. And the Href lang tag I mentioned earlier, that's automatically added when you're using Translatepress. Let's switch to Chinese, and if we view the page source and we search for Href lang, we see right here, we've got English US and then just English. We have Chinese China and just Chinese, and we have the proper URLs for those translations. And that's done automatically with Translatepress. You don't have to worry about it at all. Put this back to English so I don't get lost. We have RankMath installed. RankMath creates sitemaps. If we go to RankMath SEO and then sitemap settings, we can see the sitemap link right here. If we open that, we see we have 3 sitemaps: a post sitemap, page sitemap, a category sitemap. Let's click on the post sitemap and we see 4 pages. 2 of them are in English, 2 of them have ZH for Chinese. And the reason it looks unreadable is because Chinese uses non-Roman alphabet, a Roman alphabet being A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And so when it translates it from those non-Roman characters, it comes up with these ASCII values, which for HTML translates to the real characters in Chinese. But it's important to note that when you're translating your pages, as long as they're a Roman language that uses A, B, C, D, F, G, which is most of them on the planet, then translations will be just fine. And it'll just show letters and words that are appropriate for that translation into that language. This really only happens to Chinese when you're using the symbols and a handful of other languages. For Chinese, you can actually get around this by using Pinyin, which is a romanization of Chinese characters. Basically, if you look it up on Google, it'll show you a Chinese character and then the Pinyin version, which is how you pronounce that character using letters from the Roman alphabet, which is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And so if you were to use Pinyin for your page names and for your Chinese characters, then this translation would also look normal and not have these ASCII values. And you might be wondering why these are all thrown in together. Like, why wouldn't there be a separate sitemap for Chinese, separate sitemap for English? There kind of is. If we view the source, we see the sitemap is actually broken up page by page, not how it looks here, but inside the HTML, we see we have 4 entries for every single link. We have the English version, denoted by the href lang tag, Chinese version, denoted by the href lang tag with the translated URL. We have the same thing again with the 2 different styles of href lang tags, and we have that again down here. Same thing, and we have it again for the Hello World page and the Hello World page again. And this is just how Google wants us to create these things. Translatepress does it automatically in conjunction with RankMath and Yoast SEO and all-in-one SEO. It doesn't matter which SEO plugin you use, Translatepress has integrated with it to create these translated sitemaps for you really, really easily. And my 2 final tips. These are things you absolutely should do every time you translate a page or a website. Make sure there are no mixed languages on the page. So when you've translated a page, go and check out the page to make sure it's all translated to that language. Because for SEO, Google's going to want to show the Spanish version to Spanish speakers from Spanish IPs. But if it's showing English and Spanish on the same page, Google's going to get confused. So make sure you double check every page to make sure everything's translated. Doesn't take very long, but you should definitely do it. And my second tip that you should do for every translation you do is make sure the internal linking structure is correct. So whenever you link to a page from inside a different page on your website, make sure the URL goes to the appropriate page. So if you're on the Chinese site, make sure you click all the links to make sure they go to the Chinese versions of those pages, or the Spanish versions of those pages, or the German versions of those pages. You get the idea. Just make sure all the links are going to the correct translation. If you want to check out Translatepress, there's a link in the description that will take you to this page. I'm sure you've realized it's going to be enough work just for you to find all the keywords for all the translations you want to do. You might as well make the translating part as easy as possible. And all you need to get started is the €825 per month plan. That's if you buy annually. That's for one site, gets you 50,000 AI words. Those do not renew monthly. I believe they renew yearly, or you can buy extra if you want to inside your account. And the SEO pack is included with this one. So you can translate 50,000 AI translated words or manually translate unlimited words with this plan right here. And the higher you go in plans, the more AI credits you get, up to 500,000 for the developer plan. Plus you get a whole lot more features that might make your AI translation even more powerful. So I highly encourage you to check out Translatepress if you want to translate your website as easily and quickly as possible, because time is money. So click the link down below, come to this page and pick the plan that's right for you and try it out. If you got value from this video, make sure you like and subscribe to let me know. Then check out this video on your screen right now, which is a full walkthrough of Translatepress. We only talked about the SEO portion of it in this video. If you want to know more about Translatepress, check out this video on your screen right now. And in fact, I'll put another video on the screen, which is the full walkthrough of the language switcher. Check out those two videos, and I'm sure you'll see Translatepress is an awesome plugin. I'll see you there.